boyfriend of the Winooski woman charged with murdering her son admits he lied to police. Good evening, everyone. I'm Stephanie Gorin. George is off tonight. 28-year-old Tyler Shequin pleaded guilty to charges of giving false information to a police officer in connection with the death of 14-month-old Peyton Gira. Shequin is the former boyfriend of Gira's biological mother, Natasha LaForce. LaForce has pleaded not guilty to Peyton's murder. WPTZ's Bridget Shanahan was in court all day and joins us now live with more. Bridget.
Well, that's right, Steph. In court today, Tyler Shequin admitted he didn't tell police what he says really happened the day Peyton died until weeks into the investigation. He told law enforcement officers last month that he saw his former girlfriend, Natasha LaForce, violently shaking the toddler just hours before his death. And now the prosecution says he'll be their key witness in the murder trial against LaForce.
I'm happy that, he now spoke up, but I wish that he would have did it on, the day he was asked instead of, 3-4 interviews of still lying.
Tyler Shequin's mother and sister sat quietly behind him while he admitted in open court he knowingly withheld information from police.
Guilty.
14-month-old Peyton Gira died on April 4th. But police say it wasn't until May that Shequin would tell the whole story about what he says happened the day Peyton died.
He said clearly and demonstrated that he saw Natasha LaForce violently shake Peyton Gira and slammed Peyton Gira's head against the floor in the house. That account was corroborated by the medical examiner as the likely cause of death.
According to the affidavit, Shequin spoke to officers 4 times, but it wasn't until he was polygraphed in the 3rd and 4th interviews that he began to reveal the details about Natasha LaForce, saying he had never seen her this crazy and violent before, adding she was definitely on something and it wasn't just weed, and it was like she wasn't there.
If Tyler had been honest about what he saw sooner, do you think Peyton might still be alive?
I can't answer that question at this time. I mean, clearly, because of Mr. Shequin's earlier statements to the police, this investigation was delayed and it was deflected from Miss LaForce.
He was such a good baby. Yeah.
This has been really hard for your family.
Yeah, really hard. He was the best baby ever.
And while Shequin prepares to be the prosecution's primary witness in the murder trial against his former girlfriend, his family is still healing.
And it's still hard, and it'll probably still be hard for probably the rest of my life,
As part of his plea agreement, Shequin will be released from prison. He was incarcerated after Peyton's death for a parole violation. Shequin also agreed to cooperate with the prosecution of LaForce and promised not to have any contact with her. Bridget Shanahan, WPTZ News Channel 5.